Valji, Salim, Valji, and John Liu in Winnipeg. Where are we starting here, guys? Where do we want to start? Let's start with Ryan Rishaug in Edmonton. I spent a lot of time with him over the last month or so. He's sick of me officially. Well, you come one win away from winning the Stanley Cup, Ryan, and suddenly you have big decisions pending almost immediately.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, and not a lot of time, especially when it comes to negotiating with your unrestricted free agents, right? You're not going to talk contract during a playoff run, so no question the Oilers have been in a bit of a scramble here, James. Okay, a few things to throw out there. I think they need a top six winger to potentially play with Leon Draisaitl. A few names that are potentials. I think Arvidsson is definitely of interest and would be on that list, I think for sure. He played hard against the Oilers in the first round of the playoffs. Very good friends with Mattias Ekholm. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Oilers were in aggressively on him, though I imagine a number of other teams will be. As you can see, they need some depth forwards as well. They're trying to get some of their own guys done. I believe there's a multi-year offer on the table for Matthias Janmark. Why wouldn't they? He was fantastic on the penalty kill and part of a really important third line. Connor Brown gets done. That's two of the elements on that third line if they can get Janmark back as well. I think Vinny Desharnais on the blue line is going to market, just reported that. They love this player. Excellent penalty killer, but it's just too tough to fit him in on the back end. The Oilers are really tight. Philip Broberg has really come along as well here, and he'll be a regular on the blue line next season. So money is tight, James. Looking to add that top six winger if they can. Some depth forwards as well. I'm going to throw a name out there as well because you have to think that they would be interested in a player like Jake DeBrusk. The only way that would be able to happen is if they were to move significant money. They just don't have the space to necessarily chase down the dollars that someone like DeBrusk would be looking for. But you'd have to think that the Oilers would be interested in a player like that alongside Leon Draisaitl.
Excellent info and great work on a long playoff run for Ryan Rishaug and the Edmonton Oilers. Ditto for Salim Valji, who was with us throughout the Stanley Cup final covering the Calgary Flames. They don't want to call it a rebuild, but let's be clear, it's pretty much a rebuild, Salim.
Yeah, I'm not sure what adjective we're allowed to use, James, but believe it or not, Craig Conroy did the unthinkable a few days ago. He left Vegas with more money than he had before. That's, of course, because of the Andrew Mangiapane deal. And, James, the Calgary Flames have about $29 million in cap space, which is a lot, and they want to at least be competitive for a postseason spot next season. And they do have some holes, a top-nine center. They're looking for blue line depth, especially given it's likely that Oliver Shillington will hit the market. And stop me if you've heard this before, James, they need a winger to play with Jonathan Huberdeau. And a few fits might be Anthony Duclair, Jake DeBrusk, Tyson Barrie, and I do wonder, James, Dregs reported that Sean Monahan has interest. I wonder if there's at least a conversation there if he does hit the open market on a possible reunion as they go into the next phase of whatever you want to call it here and want to play meaningful spring hockey next season. And the foundation begins, of course, here on Canada Day.
Salim Valji in Calgary. Let's get to John Liu in Winnipeg. They extend Dylan DeMello. What's next for the Jets?
Yeah, James, well, what's next is in about, say, 12 minutes, the buyout of Nate Schmidt should become finalized, and that would allow the Jets to add about $3 million in cap space to their profile, which would be just under 12 million. And with that, as Bob reported and Darren had talked about, they are working on a